Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back here to McMorran Place. Prowlers and Seawolves for the final time this regular season and this season as a whole. And live here from McMorran Place, Prowlers trying to extend their winning streak to 7 straight games. Seawolves were also on a 5-game winning streak heading into this weekend. They saw that snapped last night down the road from here against the Motor City Rockers. An 8-3 loss to Motor City. Again, seeing that 5-game win streak snapped behind a 5-point night for Josh Colton. 2 goals, 3 assists for the Rockers captain Yegor Kabateyev. A couple of goals as well for Motor City as they set a season high for goals in a game with the 8, despite a couple of tallies from Carter Eha and a goal and an assist from former Prowler Isaiah Paris. Ed Coffey takes the loss after 5 goals against in 20 minutes of action. He is actually unavailable tonight, and the Seawolves have signed Elijah Gibbons as their emergency backup goaltender for tonight's game. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, 3 points is 3 points is pretty much what you can say about that game last night for Port Huron. It wasn't pretty, but it was a 4-2 win over HC Benham for the Prowlers' 6th straight victory. They move past the 80-point plateau, 27-16 and 6 now this season are the Port Huron Prowlers' 3rd straight season since they've reached 80 points. Last year 84, year before 86, and certainly an opportunity to get past both of those two numbers, and certainly a chance to get up to the 90-point plateau for the first time since the 2019-20 season. But Alex Johnson, Austin Federley had a goal and an assist apiece. Reed Cooper picked up the victory last night as he has now won each of his last 3 starts. So the Prowlers get their first win over HC Venom this season, and then they turn their attention now to a team that they have not lost to all year long in the Mississippi Seawolves. And with the Seawolves in town, we get to take a look at the entire FPHL standings tonight. Seawolves obviously out of it in the Continental Division, but still lots of intrigue over there. Baton Rouge defeated Blue Ridge last night in what was a big game for the standings on that side. Not only do the Zydeco move a little bit closer to the Columbus River Dragons, who are in 3rd, but also they now have a 3-point lead for that home ice advantage spot in what would be the 4-5 play-in game over on that side of the bracket. But at the top of the division, plenty of intrigue as Carolina and Athens 1 point apart for that top spot, of the Continental Division. The Empire Division has been wrapped up as the Binghamton Black Bears have clinched that long time ago. They've had it clinched for much of the last month plus, but it's a 2-horse race over in the Continental between the Thunderbirds, who are the back-to-back defending Continental Division champions, the playoff champions, I should say, not the regular season champions back-to-back, but they are the playoff champions the last 2 years, lost in the Commissioner's Cup final the last 2 seasons. And Athens, of course, the best new team in the FPHL this year, at least by points. They're up to 106. Meanwhile, on the other side, Prowlers with some more breathing room as the Watertown Wolves fell last night, so Port Huron now up by 8 points, and they're also 9 back now of the Danbury Hat-Tricks for second in the Empire. And if things stay the way they are, then the Prowlers and Hat-Tricks will face off in round number 1. Meanwhile, the Motor City Rockers 10 points up now on HC Venom for that final play-in spot in the Empire Division. Well, we mentioned him just moments ago, Isaiah Paris, his first game back in Port Huron since being traded to the Mississippi Seawolves back on February the 7th. 2 goals, 5 points in 13 games since being acquired by the Seawolves from Port Huron, including that goal and assist 2-point effort last night against the Rockers. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, highlighting Reggie Millette, who had a couple of assists last night, and he's been dishing the puck out over these past few games. 3 games, 8 assists, 9 points. So if you're keeping track at home, Reggie Millette averaging 3 points a game over his last 3. Not a very big sample size, but still very impressive for that top line of the Port Huron Prowlers, Millette, Lockney, and Matt Graham. And Reggie, again, 3 assists in each of the 2 games last weekend against the Motor City Rockers, 2 last night. And he is looking to continue that huge offensive output. He has 28 helpers, 42 points in 37 games this season. A couple of changes in the lineup tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers as Braden Simmons-Fisher's banged up, unable to go tonight. So Luke James draws in, but you may be wondering, wait, Luke James is a forward and Braden Simmons-Fisher is a defenseman. How is that going to work? Well, Tristan Sim moves back to play defense. He did play defense previously for about a month earlier on this season, and he will be back on D with Alex Johnson, who was playing forward during the time Sim played defense earlier this year. Meanwhile, Brian Parsons slots in alongside Adam Heinzel, who is Braden Simmons-Fisher's defense partner, and Luke James slots in as the extra forward here tonight. The rest of the forward lines staying the same for the Port Huron Prowlers, as we are just minutes away from puck drop here tonight at McMorran Place. Again, the 5th and final meeting between the Prowlers and the Mississippi Seawolves. Prowlers 4-0 up to this point, winning one of those games in overtime. But again, all 4 of those have come here in Port Huron as the Seawolves take the ice here. The Prowlers have swept each of the two-game sets between these teams, and they will look to sweep the season series for the 2nd time in the Seawolves history. This is the 3rd season of Seawolves hockey, and the Prowlers have swept them in the season series. The first year, they lost 1 game last season to the Seawolves, and trying to sweep again for the 2nd time in 2 seasons. Let's take you down to ice level, where public address announcer Austin Dunn has the rest of tonight's pregame ceremonies.
is not in uniform, that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the voice of the Prowlers, Sarah Dent. Ceremonial puck drop. Tonight is Kevin Allen's final weekend here at Port Huron. He is retiring next weekend. When the Central Hockey League folded in 2014, Kevin was asked to come work in the Federal Hockey League. Kevin has stayed with the league now for 10 years and has worked at the professional level for 37 years. Kevin has officiated games in the NHL, IHL, AHL, ECHL, CHL, UHL, FPHL, NCAA, USHL, NAHL, OHL, IIHF, and USA Hockey. He has also officiated the FPHL Commissioner's Cup Finals, the IHL Turner Cup Finals 5 times, the AHL Calder Cup Playoffs 10 times, the ECHL Kelly Cup Playoffs, and the USA Junior A Nationals. Kevin suspects that he has worked between 1,800 and 2,000 games. Kevin was born and raised in Shaker Heights, Ohio, and was recently inducted into Shaker Heights High School Hockey Hall of Fame and earned an OHSAA Ice Hockey State Championship in 1981. Along with his brother Carl, he started playing hockey when they were 4 years old. Kevin currently resides in Carmel, Indiana, with his wife Heidi and 3 daughters, Stacia.
A special ceremonial puck drop here tonight at McMorran Place. The final time Kevin Mallon will be refereeing here in Port Huron. He is set to retire at the end of the season. He'll ref tomorrow again for the Motor City Rockers game, and he'll also rep in Danville next weekend, and then he is retiring after a long career in stripes. He gets set for this opening face-off. He'll drop it between Luke James and Bradley Richardson. We'll get you the starting goaltenders when we get a moment, but certainly an important moment to capture for that ceremonial puck drop. We are underway here tonight. There's Bradley Richardson sending it in off the corner boards, and Brian Persons holds it up along the wall. Luke James heading after that puck at center. He's dragged down. Austin Federley. They will send it in on the backhand. Isaiah Paris wearing number 11, the former Prowler. Knocked down by Reggie Millette. Matt Graham bounces it up high. Johnson over to Millette. Takes a look, walks in, and a save. Rebound, put on goal, and they score! Reggie Millette gets it to go from the corner, and the Prowlers on the board first early. Well, we highlighted him in the pregame show for his passing, but he puts pucks on net just as well. And Reggie Millette getting his own rebound with Richie Perrant, the starting goaltender for Mississippi, out of position, put it back on net. I think that hit a couple of Seawolves in front before it slipped over the line, and the Prowlers off and running here tonight. Tanner Coleman back for it. He took a hit from Daniel Chartrand. Here's Coleman working it up the boards, kept in by Blaney. Dylan Marty after it. Shakes loose of Don Carter. Marty up high, Blaney on goal, and Chartrand had to go ducking. Chartrand up towards Blaney, didn't get much on it though, and Austin Langworthy able to step in front. He's an interesting story we'll get to at some point during the broadcast. Chartrand skating up to the offensive zone. His shot stopped and held by Richie Perrant. Well, as promised, we give you tonight's starting goaltending matchup. It's Richie Perrant, who has already given up a goal tonight for the Mississippi Seawolves. Came in 40 minutes of relief last night for Perrant against the Motor City Rockers. He stopped 20 of 23 shots. For the Prowlers, Yoshi getting to make his 4th start this season. He is 3-0 with 2 wins over the Dashers and 1 over these Mississippi Seawolves. That was here at McMorran Place back in January. Noah Hippolyte-Smith works it up high. Sam Turner's shot tipped wide. Carter Eha up top. Stacy across to Turner, tried to float it through, and a first save for Yoshi tonight. Turner back for it in his own end. 2 minutes gone, opening period. In case you're just joining us, Reggie Millette, pounding the puck right now, is the only one on the scoreboard so far. Yoshi sends that one off the glass, and it comes right back to him. He grabs it with the glove and hangs on. And chance of Yoshi already starting from the McMorran faithful. Popular player, of course, in the locker room, outside of the locker room, around Port Huron. Fans love Yoshi. His teammates love him. And they love when he gets to get a start. Again, he beat these Mississippi Seawolves back on January the 18th, 25 saves on 27 shots that night. He's also defeated the Dashers twice, once in Danville and once in Topeka. Here's Lucas Lockney, tried to drop it off, came back out to center, and Tristan Sim goes back to Alex Johnson. If you missed the pregame show, Sim on defense tonight. The Prowlers shaking up the lines a little bit. Braden Simmons Fisher unable to go, just a little bit banged up. Prowlers trying to be cautious right around playoff time. The guys are a little banged up, and they have plenty of bodies to play. So Sim moves back to defense, where he played a little bit earlier on this season. And Luke James draws back into the lineup. That play, by the way, was offsides, the reason for the whistle. So we got a face-off right in front of the Mississippi bench. Alex Johnson and Matt Graham, the assists on the goal by Reggie Millette. For Graham, his team-high 39th helper this season. This one fired in, stopped by Perrant, and it's grabbed by Max Barrington, number 20. Chartrand and Marty digging away. Barrington heads back after it, off the boards, and right to Brett Lockhart at neutral ice. Barrington has it back. D to Don Carter. Barrington, rink wide feed, just out of Langworthy's reach. Chip back into the Mississippi zone, and Barrington the first one after it. Prowlers in the midst of a change. This is wrapped up to Lucas Pekarczyk, across to Langworthy. His shot off the stick of Yoshi. Sent back on net and changed direction. Yoshi able to steer it to the corner. Parsons on towards Chartrand, got through him, but it's on goal, so no icing. Scantleberry couldn't keep it in off the bench. He's able to work it over towards James. Gets back to the loose puck. Heinzel puts it through, and a save by Perrant. Bounced up high. Heinzel across to Parsons. Wrist shot just misses wide. I think he was looking for a stick. Try and get a deflection. This one pops up into the Prowler bench. Out of play. Just over 4 minutes gone here in period one. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead. This draw will be right in front of their bench. Face-off comes over to the far side. Alex Johnson, the first one there. Lockney able to chip that puck deep. Turner tried to turn it out. Here's Sim across looking for Millette, and Eha came back to get a stick on it. Turner moves it up the glass. Sim able to pinch in, keep it alive. Lockney turns and fires. He hit the crossbar. Prowler still trying to buzz in the offensive zone. Johnson keeps it in. And Johnson taken down, may have gotten a stick up high as he's holding his space. Play continues with Lockney, one-handing it over to Graham. Across the Sim, lets it go, save Perrant, and the rebound ends up in the corner. Graham harassed by Turner. Johnson just does keep that one in. And now Turner takes over. Seawolves is able to escape their own end. Hippolyte Smith almost put it right in the tape of Lockhart. It just bounced over his stick. Both teams making changes. Millette around to Blaney. Long lead pass finds Bussell. Working on Stacy. Outside try. Not sure if Perrant got a piece of that one or not as it went high. Bounced all the way around. And Lockhart recollects. Tries to turn back up. Chartrand to the outside. Bussell drops the shoulder. Got to the net. But he couldn't get the puck on goal. He ends up running into the post and knocking the net off. Take a timeout, 14:21 to go in period one. Reggie Millette has the Prowlers on the board first.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network, providing resources and funding to help start or grow your business. Small business support in participating Region 6 counties. Take advantage of the network's free training and events for entrepreneurs and small business owners. The Eastern Michigan Small Business Network aims to boost your chances of success. Learn more about the network's small business cohort program. With rentable workspaces, business coaching, training, and funding opportunities, it's time to become a client of the Eastern Michigan Small Business Network.
Back here in Port Huron, Richie Perrant getting set to head back to his goal crease for the Mississippi Seawolves. His father was a goaltender, Rich Perrant, who played in the NHL for parts of 4 seasons with the St. Louis Blues, Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the late 90s and early 2000s. And oh yeah, his father is also the head coach of the Mississippi Seawolves, hired on November the 20th. Richie actually began this season at Alvernia University, made 1 start before turning pro in January. Perrant currently on a 3-start win streak after winning just 1 of his first 7 starts. As they check on the post in his goal crease. But certainly some goaltending blood in Richie Perrant. Looks like we're all set to go. Tonight's referees are Kevin Mallon, of course, and Jonathan Paradise, linesman Brian Thurnauer, and Jeremy McWalter. And in case you missed the pregame ceremony, Kevin Mallon refereeing his final game in Port Huron, as he will be retiring at the end of this season after a long tenure as a referee in many pro leagues, including the FPHL/FPHL. Here's Adam Heinzel working down the boards. Taken away, and out comes Isaiah Paris. Working one-on-one against Tecumseh. Paris goes all the way around the net, and Person squeezes into the glass. Push back behind the net. Heinzel after it. And he reversed for Parsons. DeCumbis heads to the middle of the ice. Tried to go up to Scantleberry. That was cut off. Paris the other way. Johnson coming off the bench to cut him off. Took the puck away. And now Sim. Pokes it along for Scantleberry. Plenty of Seawolves back. Scantleberry tried to dance around Carter. He was knocked down though. And the other way goes Barrington. 3-on-2 for the Seawolves if they hurry. Langworthy shot knocked down by Yoshi. And now the Prowlers with a counter of their own. But the pass was behind Scantleberry. And that kind of messed up that rush before it even started. Millette steps in front of Pekarzik. Those two tied up. Pekarzik couldn't get it out. Finally he does. Trying to get after it. Sim with a good stick. It will stop him up. Pekarzik whips it across. Dalton Anderson back across looking for Langworthy. And it wasn't in a shooting position. This one sent all the way down ice, but just dies short of the icing line. Almost a giveaway there as it hit Millette's skate, but he couldn't control it. Carter into the Prowler zone. Floats it on net and a save by Yoshi. One-timer, Yoshi sticks it aside. Carter in front, Hippolyte Smith stopped by Yoshi on the doorstep. Yoshi hangs on for a whistle on a face-off. His best save of this young hockey game. 12-12 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. It'll be Jamie Bussell and Dalton Anderson on this face-off. Anderson won it back clean, but too clean as it got past Carter. Marty in on him, and Carter up the boards out of the zone. Delayed offsides against the Prowlers. Marty didn't know at first. Now he comes back to touch up. Carter on for Anderson. Moves along to Blake Keller. He sends it in deep. Yoshi out to play it. Lockhart off the glass. Marty skates into it. Has Sharktran with him. Marty throws on the brakes. Sends Sharktran after it behind the net. He and Turner tie up. Bussell spinning, looking for an outlet. He works up the wall. Across to Johnson. Millette surrounded and lost the handle. Sim right back up to Reggie Millette. He gets it deep. Millette wheeling around the zone. Hands off for Johnson. Back for Millette at the point. Sent it on goal. That one just pushed over to the corner by Turner. Sim back on net and Perrant forced to make a save. Millette didn't really get much on that first shot. Not sure if somebody partially blocked it on the way through. Prowlers regrouping now. Sim off the far boards. Graham tried to touch it through for Scantleberry, but that didn't work. Stacy tried to send it up ice. Loose puck in the Prowler territory. There's Langworthy across. Turner's drive, gloved and held by Yoshihiro Kuriowa. I at least have to say his full name once on the broadcast, right? Face off deep in Prowler territory. And Vinny DeCumbis, who turned into a center last night, still at that center position, in to take the draw. He and Henson are wrestling for it over to the boards. It's rimmed around and Heinzel gets there first. Parsons back over for Adam Heinzel. Fanned on the pass, got it back, got it up towards Lockney. Looks like Lucas Lockney taking a shift with the line of DeCumbis and Federley, where Scantleberry normally would be. Keep an eye on that. Henson's pass across hit Parsons, and the Prowlers work out. Federley through for DeCumbis, just too far ahead of him though. Lockhart puts it back deep. Lockney trying to pull it away from Barrington. And now Henson Over to the near side boards. Lockney and Langworthy came together. Barrington. D-to-D pass over to Carter. Gets the red line, gets it deep right in on Yoshi. And he'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. Past the midway point of period one, still 1-0 lead for the Prowlers. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHB Network.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not...
Not a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Back here in Port Huron, 1-0 Prowlers, 9:27 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy first period. Shots on goal favoring the Seawolves right now, 10-8. Yoshi has made all 10 saves he's had to make in between the pipes. Face-off will be to Yoshi's right. Prowlers have Matt Graham's line out there in its normal capacity with Lucas Lockney on the left wing side. They'll take the draw against Dalton Anderson, who's had an interesting season for the Seawolves. 17 goals this year, leads all Mississippi scorers. But he is on a 14-game goal drought, hasn't scored since February the 1st. Despite that, again, still leading the Seawolves with 17 goals. Tanner Coleman wrists it through off the back wall. Turner made a pass out, but right on the stick of Matt Graham. He just fires it all the way down. He and Lockney may have gotten their signals crossed. Icing was waved off, though. Play continues. Delayed offsides against the Prowlers as Coleman steps out. Coleman got it back from Anderson. Tried to loft it out. Glove down by Graham. Here's Lockney back in. Off for Millette. Jumps in. Doesn't shoot. Instead, the Prowlers set up their offensive zone attack. Anderson trying to disrupt. And he sent it across the blue line and just out of the zone. Lockney works his way back into the outside, and he rows it too tall. A little inside-out move for Lucas Lockney, going 1-on-3 there. And he just couldn't find the target with the rising shot. Federley over to Heinzel jumping into the play. Heinzel shoots, saved by Perrant. Federley collects the rebound. Up top, Parsons. D-to-D, Heinzel. Down low, looking for Scantleberry, just tipped it. And Richardson hands it off to his goaltender, Perrant, for a whistle and a face-off. 8:07 left to go in period number one. The Prowlers turning up the pressure here, and Lucas Lockney, who comes into tonight with 23 points over his 11-game point streak. With a good opportunity, just couldn't find the target. Scantleberry lined up right behind DeCumbus on this face-off. He's the first one on the puck, and he rims it around. Paris trying to force it out of the zone, just did cross the blue line, so Parsons has to come back to neutral ice with it. As he was falling, able to get it back deep. Stacy over to Barrington. DeCumbus chasing him. Keller just tossed that one over the glass, but off of DeCumbus' stick, so no delay of game penalty, and both teams will be able to make some changes. Another offensive zone face-off for the Prowlers here. So with that 1-0 lead, trying to win their 7th straight game are the Port Huron Prowlers. also on a 10-game point streak. One of the hottest teams in the FPHL right now. Stacy off for Langworthy. And now it's Pekarzik into the offensive zone. He's double teamed. The puck sent to the corner. Brett Lockhart looks to start the breakout. On for Bussell, right up the gut. Outside Chartrand, walks in, his shot along the ice, patted away by Perrant. Prowlers keep it alive, but Lockhart couldn't bring in that pass cleanly. Port Huron has to touch up as it's dumped back in. Right to Chartrand. Held up along the boards. Teammates coming in to help out. Millette floats it through, looking for Graham. That was knocked back by Hansen. Tripped out of the Mississippi zone. Johnson up for Chartrand at the end of a long shift. Touched in by Graham. Carter over behind the net, and Stacy will hang out there. Chased out by Millette. Gets the red line, sends it right in on Yoshi just past the net. And it's fired all the way around the boards. Kept in at the line by Anderson. Carter digging away in the corner. Johnson able to pull it out. And now it's Lockney trying to start a rush with Millette. As Lockney going to net, sent it there. And Lockney just couldn't get a stick on it. Puck up in the air, stays in play. Millette knocked down from behind. That will draw a penalty. And Don Carter heading to the box. Surely a boarding penalty here, as he got Reggie Millette from behind. Under 6 to go in period one. Prowlers with their first power play of the night. Looks like they might call it cross-checking instead. Port Huron 1 for 5 last night against HC Venom. 11th in the FPHL at a shade under 19% on the man advantage this season. Meanwhile, the Seawolves penalty kill 12th out of 14 teams this year, and just a shade under 76% this season. Stacy muscled by Bussell, tied up behind the net, and Bussell able to come out with it. Daniel Chartrand and Dylan Marty on this power play unit, as Marty unloads the one-timer, saved by Perrant, and Hippolyte Smith sends it out, gloved down by Lockhart. But Marty taking Sim's spot, as Sim is back on defense and not on this unit, at least for the moment. And of course, Braden Simmons-Fisher, who usually stands in front of that net, is out tonight. Daniel Chartrand taking that spot. Scantleberry around the net, up to Marty. Lockhart takes a look. Off for Scantleberry, trying to find a shooting lane. Instead, he'll circle back down the boards. Lockhart tried to send it through. That was blocked by Hansen right up top. Bussell keeps it moving around for Scantleberry. Has to spin away from a check from Hippolyte Smith. And the puck is cleared as Bussell's pass to Lockhart off his stick. 54 seconds left to go on this Prowlers power play. Austin Federley spinning away, and he starts up ice. The other unit out there for the Prowlers now. Millette drops it off for Johnson. Federley for Millette. Back to Austin Federley. Walks the line. Ends up on the far half wall. Floats it to Lockney up top. Millette with a look. He shoots and a save. Rebound set in there in some skates. And it's kept alive. 19 seconds left on the power play. Lockney over to Federley. Shoots it to score! Second night in a row, a Federley shot tipped home by Alex Johnson on the power play. And the Prowlers have a 2-0 lead. Alex Johnson said last night after the game, he told Austin Federley, float him through, and I'll tip him. And he did it again right there. Again, second time in as many nights. Federley's shot deflected home by Alex Johnson. And for Johnson, that's his 19th of the year and team high 8th power play tally. Well, the Prowlers with a 2-goal first period lead here tonight. And Richardson looking to bring it back in, but he gave it away. Here's Lockhart weaving in. Marty a shot, rising and stopped by Richie Perrant. And now Keller and Skittleberry getting into it. They'll be separated by the linesmen and a referee. We will take a break. Lucas Lockney's extended his point streak to 12 games, and the Prowlers have extended their lead to 2-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Prowlers up 2-0, and their power play is 1-for-1 tonight as Alex Judson gets the goal from Austin Federley and Lucas Lockney. And again, Lockney now up to a 12-game point streak and 24 points in that span. Still lots of game to go here tonight, and he ties Reggie Millette for the longest point streak by a Prowler this season. Lockney also up to a 5-game assist streak. And a guy you want to see hot going into playoff time if you're a Prowlers fan, Lucas Lockney. He's certainly thriving on that top line. Prowlers continue to work. Lockhart behind the net, trying to dance his way in front. Stick handles out of a phone booth and puts it up high to Blaney. He sends it through, kick saved by Richardson. Up in the slot, he tosses it out. Marty dumps it in, heads off for a change. His line mates in on the forecheck as Skittleberry finishes his hit on Carter. Sim up for James into the offensive zone. Tried to send it across. Couldn't get that pass cleanly to Millette. Perrant able to steer aside an attempt from Tristan Sim. Johnson walks the line, sent it through off a stick and grabbed by Coleman. Here's Paris. Spun around by Johnson, and he gets it deep. Lockney makes a nice move to get out from behind his own net. Lead pass for Millette. Back for Lockney. He shoots and a save. Rebound Graham, and Perrant has that one as well. Robbing Matt Graham at the side of the net. Great rush there, though, by the Prowlers. Lockney and Millette, little give and go all the way up the ice, and Matt Graham driving the back post. Able to get on the rebound, but Richie Perrant reached out with that left hand with the catching glove to make the save. Face off, one back by Port Huron. Floated across for Sim. Tried to get it on net, and it poked just wide as Hansen got a piece of it, tying up Graham at the side of the net. There's Hansen dumping it in. Sim chases after it in his own end. Throws on the brakes behind the net, and now he steps out. Lead pass looking for Millette. That was out of his reach, and icing called against the Prowlers with 2s up on the board for period number 1. 2:22 left in the frame, and 2 up on the board on the home side. 2-0 Port Huron Prowlers. They're up on shots now, 18-10. Certainly taking control of this game in the back half of period 1. One sent through, past the net, and Parsons able to push it around the wall, kept in by Stacy. Couldn't find a shooting lane through Lockney. Stacy Sent it on goal. That one over top of the cage, off the back glass. Millette back for Tristan Sim as the Prowlers regroup. Millette gets the red line, cross corner dump. He heads off for a change. Turner sent it out of the zone right on Adam Heinzel's stick. Parsons, indirect pass, looking forward to Cumbus. Scantleberry grabs it. Federley a shot, kick save by Perrant. Comes back to Parsons, sent it through. And Perrant able to make the stop. To Cumbus with a nice stick lift in the corner, but he couldn't get to Federley. Parsons whips it across in Heinzel's direction. It comes off the wall and Barrington flips it out. Chip through, here's Keller all alone, and Parsons got his stick on the shot. To a side scrum in the corner. Federley whacking at it, gets it out of the zone. Chartrand with Bussell hustling to join him 2-on-1. Bussell by himself and a save by Perrant, and the rebound pushed wide. Final minute of play in period one as Blaney sends it deep off the backboards. Lockhart sent down and around. Barrington moves it along. Blaney got it back in the zone. Seawolves work it out. Harris forced to turn back, and Barrington goes behind his own net as his team finishes up a change. 34 seconds left to go in period one. Barrington just lost the handle, nobody around him, so he's able to recollect and softly toss it in the Prowlers zone. Blaney takes a look. Up for Millette, has Chartrand with him. Millette spins back away from Pekarzik. Sends it deep along the boards. Chartrand tried to pass it out in front, couldn't do it. Now Graham for Chartrand on his backhand. Out top for Johnson, 5 seconds to go. Lockhart chips it around his man, has to get it on goal, got it there. Saved by Perrant, and one more for good measure at the buzzer. So the Prowlers with all kinds of pressure in the back half of that period. They got one early and they got one late, and they have a 2-0 lead through 20 minutes. Shots on goal favoring the Prowlers. Right now 21-11 is how they have it scored. And they have the only 2 goals of the game so far. Coming up in the Moses Roses Smoke Break first intermission report, we'll take a look at the highlights from last weekend's games against the Motor City Rockers. Some storylines as well to talk about from the FPHL earlier today. Also have the out-of-town scores and the game stats. It's all coming up on the PHP Network. Prowlers with the lead over Mississippi through 20 minutes of play as they head to the locker room, trying to sweep the regular season series. The Prowlers are celebrating 10 years in Port Huron, and now is your chance to get special edition 10th anniversary gear at the Prowlers team store. Located on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game, or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your Poho best with gear from the Prowlers team store. 2-0 Port Huron through 20 minutes. We'll take a break and come back on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience, keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Prowlers try and work out. It's Lockney. Going across to Millette. Chips it past Blaisdell. Millette's in. He scores! Reggie Millette, 43 seconds in, has the Prowlers on the board first. Athens Rock Lobsters last weekend and played against the Prowlers and Rockers. This is pass all the way across. Great stretch by Cooper to make the save. Sent back on net and a sliding block by Tucker Skittleberry. Anybody else in the entire conference. There's Thelstrom to the net. Turnaround try by Lockney. He scores. Lucas Lockney able to put it home and put the Prowlers back in front. Kept it deep only for a moment. Blaisdell now gets it back down low. Pass in front. Corgan stopped by a sprawling Cooper. Federley once more takes the shot. Bounced around in front. Lockney trying to wrap it. Couldn't come out in front. And now they score. Alex Johnson puts it home. Power play goal. Puts the Prowlers up by 2. Fed it out high to Johnson. Had to kick it off his skate. Hillstrom able to get it down deep. Millette out to Lockney. He's surrounded. He got it in front and Graham scores. Lucas Lockney had 2 Rockers all over him, but he was able to put it out in front, and Matt Graham taps it home on the back side. Prowlers get an early one in period 3 to extend the lead to 3. Lockhart had taken off his stick. 70 feet, one-timer by Tellstrom, shut down, and then Cooper another save on the rebound, and it's cleared out of the zone. Settles down for Millette. Graham taking a look in front. Back pass, Marty, he scores! Dylan Marty with his first pro goal has given the Prowlers a 5-1 lead. And now a giveaway. Here's Rivers, stopped by Cooper as Eli Rivers was bidding for the hat trick. The stick lifted to Cumbus, trying to take it away from McGill Diaz. And here comes Vinny DeCumbus with the yawning cage. He's taken down, but he scores. Vinny DeCumbus has his first goal back in a Prowlers uniform. And in the final minute of period 3, Port Huron gets the cherry on top. Millette across to Lockhart as the Prowlers get the other unit out there now. Skittleberry flying in, weaves through, shot, score! Welcome back, Tucker Skittleberry. An early goal. Prowlers up 1-0. Graham first on the rebound. Prowlers continue to buzz. And he tried to get Federley right off the bench. He had it poked away, but he gets it back. Lockney by himself. Scores! Between his legs, Lucas Lockney. Miguel Diaz off the corner board, sneak the drive, and Nucian ready for it, and he's got the rebound too. Lockney weaves through a few rockers, gets back in, centering feed, they score! It's Delstrom on the receiving end, and he puts it in the back of the net. 3-0 Port Huron. Millette works out of the corner to the net, saved by Gonzalez, and Grant puts it home. A 4-goal explosion for the Prowlers in the first 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Back to the Prowler bench, doubled over. Meanwhile, pass comes across. Colton shot, stopped by Nuciainen. Still a 5-on-3 for 31 seconds. Marty has to wait to come out of the box. Colton shot, kick saving a beauty from Nuciainen. Back out in front, and unable to get a shot through was Rivers. Tosses it over to Gavrilovic. Lockney got his stick on the clearing attempt. Lockney shoots, he scores! Lucas Lockney made the turnover happen, and he has his second of the night. Prowlers back up by 3. Out in front, Graham, one-timer. Couldn't get it on goal as it was blocked. Millette wasn't able to settle it down. Lockney, one-timer, he scores! A hat trick for Lucas Lockney. 2 in this period, and the Prowlers restore their 4-goal lead. There's Kabateyev centering. Hall, stopped by Nuciainen as he shut the door in tight. Bussell won it back. Sent around, Federley. Lead pass looking for Bussell. Bussell finds the loose puck, tripped up, but he scores! As he was falling down, Jamie Bussell, don't forget about him. It's the extra point for Port Huron.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Welcome back here to McMorran Place. Prowlers up 2-0 on the Mississippi Seawolves through 20 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network, taking you through it. Thanks so much for joining us tonight as the Prowlers look to stay red hot through the end, or near the end of the month of March. Before we continue talking about this game here tonight, let's take a look at some storylines from around the FPHL from earlier today. We start with a suspension for a goaltender, which you don't see all too often, as Josh Rosenzweig of the Athens Rock Lobsters was penalized on Thursday during a scrum. He gets a 2-game suspension as he appeared to throw punches at Blake Anderson of the Monroe Moccasins during a scrum in the crease. Monroe's Anderson did get a penalty on the play for slashing as he tried to poke at a puck that Rosenzweig was covering. And Rosenzweig ends up with a 2-game suspension. Lobsters off tonight, so he will have to serve that suspension as they host Baton Rouge next Friday and Saturday. Venom signing Jersey Gus, which is one of the best names I have heard in a very long time. He began the season in Iceland, playing in their top league, 12 points in 12 games for a team that I will not try and pronounce. But he did spend last season in Hungary and Estonia and has FPHL experience, 1 game worth, as he played for the Elmira Mammoth, a single game back in 2022-23. Finally, the Blue Ridge Bobcats have added forward Matthew Gordon. Began the season with Baton Rouge, released back on March the 9th. He last played February the 16th, though. 10 points in 29 games for Gordon with the Zydeco, and now he flips to the other team in that race for in the 4-5 spots of the Continental Division. Of course, Baton Rouge 3 points up on Blue Ridge for the 4 spot, which would, if things stay the way they are, mean that the Zydeco would get to host the 1-game play-in on, I believe it'll either be the Tuesday or Wednesday after the regular season ends. Let's check in on those scores as well as all the other scores around the FPHL today. And we start with the Danbury Hat-Tricks up 2-0 on the Dashers Hockey Club of Danville, Illinois. Outshot the Dashers 21-3 in that first period, or early stages of the second. Vadim Frolov and Johnny Ruiz have the goals for the Hat-Tricks. Venom up 2-1 through 20 minutes down the road from here in Fraser, Michigan, over the Motor City Rockers. Yegor Kapateyev has the one for Motor City, but Stavros Soilis and Nathan Butler have scored for the Venom. And this is one of the most intriguing games of the weekend, tonight and tomorrow night, as the Venom 10 points back of Motor City for the final play-in spot in the Empire Division. Their whole week has been must-wins, and the Venom currently 0-3 this week in those must-wins. They're wrapping up the 5-5 tomorrow afternoon. Tonight is their 4th game in a row, and they're trying to put some points on the board and keep the Rockers off the board. And you have to think, if the Venom do not sweep the Rockers, that's probably curtains for them as far as a playoff appearance is concerned. They're up 2-1 right now. Black Bears trailing the Watertown Wolves 1-0 as they play in the first period. Trevor Lord the only goal there, as the Black Bears up on shots 12-3 at this point. And the Wolves, the team the Prowlers are ahead of for 3rd place in the Empire Division. They'd certainly enjoy some help from the Empire's top team. Black Bears did win big last night. And again, Port Huron hoping that Binghamton can make a comeback here tonight. Still searching for the first goal between the Bobcats and the Blue Ridge and the Baton Rouge Zydeco in Wytheville. As they approach the end of period one, Sammy Bernard in between the pipes for the Zydeco, Greg Hussey for Blue Ridge. And again, that one the other big game tonight in the FPHL, as that one certainly has implications in that 4-5 matchup that we touched on just a few moments ago. Finally, after 40 minutes of play, the Columbus River Dragons are up 3-2 on the Carolina Thunderbirds. Alexander Jamaev, Alex Storjahan, and Cody Wickline scored for the Dragons. Yuri Pastuka and Gus Ford have the goals for the Thunderbirds. Of course, here it's 2-0 in favor of the Port Huron Prowlers. Take a look at the stats from that opening period. Just one penalty between the two teams. And the Prowlers made the Seawolves pay for it. They're 1 for 1 on the power play, nearly doubling up Mississippi in the shots on goal department, 21-11. And they have the only 2 goals of that first period. Reggie Millette and Alex Johnson with the goals. Johnson already a goal and an assist here tonight after a goal and an assist last night against HC Venom. As the Prowlers hitting the ice, now we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question. Well, Matt Graham last night became the first Prowler to reach 20 goals this season. Want to know who's the last Prowler with 30 goals in a season? Put your guess in the comment section, and we will give you the correct answer coming up at the start of period number 3. Richie Perrott getting set in the goal crease down to our right. He has stopped 19 of 21 Prowler shots in that opening frame. Yoshihiro Kuriowa down in the goal crease to our left. 11 saves on 11 Seawolves shots in that first period. Prowlers looking to keep things rolling in the Hungry Howies' second period. They send out their top line of Matt Graham, Reggie Millette, and Lucas Lockney against Dalton Anderson's line. And the 2 leading goal scorers for their respective teams will face off to start period number 2. Tristan Sims starts from behind his own net, watched by Hippolyte Smith. Johnson bounces it up to Graham, tried to touch it through, and it came back to Alex Johnson. Fires it across in Lockney's direction. Stacy now, back to his defense partner Barrington. One got all the way through, and Anderson couldn't get a touch on it, so it's icing against Mississippi. There's 26 seconds into the middle period, and the Prowlers get an offensive zone face-off. They send out Vinny DeCumbus' line with Federley and Scantleberry as DeCumbus and Anderson slide in for the face-off. Tied up off the draw, bounce to the point. Blaney steps into it, ends up off the near side corner boards. Barrington had some trouble with it. Here's DeCumbus looking for Scantleberry. Save, rebound, pushed wide by Austin Federley. Eha couldn't get past Brett Lockhart as he sends it back down and around. DeCumbus, hands off for Blaney. Now Scantleberry, one-timer, and he whiffed on it. Stacy looking to toss it out of the zone, and now he'll skate it. And back pass to Barrington. Both teams making changes as Max Barrington waits for the breakout to develop. Over to Coleman on the right wing side. Bussell challenged him, sent it deep. Icing if Chartrand doesn't win the race. He thought he did, but the linesman disagreed. We're going to face off all the way back down in Prowler territory. Chartrand asking about that icing call. chatting with linesman Jeremy McWalter. But indeed, the icing is confirmed, and the Seawolves have an offensive zone draw that they win. Richardson tied up by Parsons. And Bussell off for Adam Heinzel. Touched in by Marty. Bussell and Carter both overskated the puck. Marty comes flying in. Now Chartrand bounce up top for Parsons. Sends it back down deep. Carter around towards Chartrand. Kicked out in front, and Richardson able to settle down in the crease. Paris throws a little reverse check on Marty as he dumped it around. Chartrand pushed it out. Hansen took it away. His shot goes wide. Keller spinning off of Parsons over to Coleman. Tried to float it through, and it was blocked by Chartrand. Now it's Paris cycling it for Hansen. Kept it moving all the way around. Carter back down below the goal line. Hansen centering feed was to Jamie Bussell. Only problem, Bussell's on the Prowlers. Chartrand 1-on-4. His team in the midst of a change. And Langworthy able to bounce it out to center. Here's Hansen. Gets to the middle. His shot stopped by Yoshi. Johnson grabs the rebound. Lockney fresh off the bench. Scoops up the puck to Millette. Takes the shot. Save Perrant. And the rebound just got past Graham. Lockney able to glove out the dump attempt. And now it's Sim over to Johnson. That one bounced on Alex Johnson. Sim has to recollect deep in his own end. Langworthy tried a centering feed that Johnson got a piece of. Anderson gloves down the puck, and he fired it wide. Lockney hands off for Graham. Tried to move it back to the outside, but Stacy the only one there to grab it. Stacy harassed by Graham, with the referee right there as well. Blaney fresh off the bench. Up to Millette. He's spun down to the ice by Hippolyte Smith. Delayed penalty coming up against the Seawolves. Tecumseh works in. His shot rose it too high. And now Scantleberry trying to play it along the half wall with Yoshi on the bench for the extra attacker. But the Seawolves touch up, and we'll get the second Prowlers power play of the night. Tripping is the signal against Noah Hippolyte Smith. Port Huron man advantage, already 1 for 1 tonight. Set to go back to work. They send out Jamie Bussell's unit to begin. A chance to go up 3-0 in this game against a team that averages 2.22 goals per game in the Mississippi Seawolves. Chartrand bounce up high to Lockhart. Walks the blue line, takes a look. Over to Marty, one-timer, stop, rebound Bussell, and Perrant able to stretch out and get that one as he was in the splits. Took a hard carom off the backboards, Bussell right there. Perrant, again, in the splits, able to make the save, and he stops that blast from Tucker Scantleberry. Marty in on the forecheck, able to take the puck, and the Prowlers set back up. Lockhart takes a look. Over to Scantleberry. Matt Graham set up in front. Lockhart to Scantleberry. That one exploded off his stick. He's able to get it down deep. Chartrand shoots, and he rose it high. Millette across to Scantleberry. Fires off the post. A short side on the blocker side of Richie Perrant. Scantleberry again, shot blocked. And Chartrand collects. 53 seconds left on an active Prowlers power play. Federley floats it deep. Comes all the way through to the far side where Millette collects. The Prowlers finally have the full other unit out there now. Federley to Millette. A little shimmy shake. Puts it on goal. Kick save by Perrant. Rebound pushed back on goal by Federley. It's cleared all the way down the ice. 27 seconds left on this Prowlers man advantage. They already have 4 shots on goal credited during it. Lockney able to kick it in. Millette tried to go across to Federley. He and Eha cancel out. Johnson Down low, Graham in front. Judson stopped by Perrant. As he read the give and go. Eha gets it out. That will take care of the rest of the penalty. The Prowlers power play now just 1 for 2. They got 5 shots on goal during the man advantage. Here they come again, but Johnson fanned on the pass. Johnson claps it around. Millette whips it in front, looking for Decumbus. Heinzel steps into it, and he just leaves it down below the goal line. Alton Anderson up for Hippolyte Smith. Throws on the brakes. Wraps it around. Heinzel keeps it moving. Shot from the line. Ends up in the near side corner, and Keller able to wrap it around for Richardson. Keller and Parsons come together. Decumbus involved in the scrum as well. Isaiah Parrish squeezed off by Heinzel. Decumbus able to push it around in James' direction. On for Marty. He and Carter hustling after it, but does just have the legs for icing. And the Prowlers will have the faceoff come all the way back to their own end. Port Huron still up 2-0 after the unsuccessful power play early stages of period 2.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Live where you work. Work where you play. Is your work commute making you miserable? Quit the commute. Explore hot jobs in St. Clair County paying $40,000 to $100,000 or more. Visit stclairhotjobs.com. Spend more time doing what you love. If you're not currently living in St. Clair County, or you know friends or family that moved away but are ready to come back, then visit stclairhotjobs.com to find a new job and make the move.
Back here in Port Huron, 13:04 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. And the Prowlers still with that 2-0 lead. Both of their goals coming all the way back in the first. They're up on shots early in this second, 7-2. 5 of those shots coming off the unsuccessful power play. They also hit a post on that unsuccessful man advantage. So plenty getting on goal during that power play. And just did everything but find the back of the net. Seawolves trying to work it around. Vinny Decumbus able to push it up the board. Stacy pinches in. Decumbus able to kick it out to center. Marty clubs down the dump from Barrington. And now Hansen grabs the loose puck. Up for Pekarzik. Outside try. Off the glass. And caroms around for Bussell. Soft toss into the offensive end. He'll head after it. Stacy tries a 2-line pass that Langworthy is able to touch into the Prowlers zone. Port Huron was in the midst of a change, but Blaney got over there quickly. Stacy on his backhand, got it out of the zone. Lockhart waits for his team to get onside before he dumps it back in. Barrington pushes it in Langworthy's direction. Chartrand able to cut it off. Comes over to the near side. Lockhart pinches in. Couldn't dance around Barrington. And Pekarzik off the boards out of the zone. Got through Hansen. And they'll say Hansen didn't get a touch on it at the red line. So an icing called against the Seawolves. Austin Langworthy out there right now in his first action, at least recorded action of hockey, since 2019-20 at Bethel University, NCAA Division III. And from what I was told from Ben Brockway, he was a skills coach at Bethel when Brockway was there. As Lockney a drive, that one hit some traffic on the way through. Langworthy made his pro debut last night against the Motor City Rockers, and we'll see if he's just here for this weekend or here for the long haul for Mississippi, as Graham turned it on net and Perrant made the save. Graham up to the top to Sim. Back for Matt Graham. He's surrounded. Finds Millette. Try to go back to Johnson at the point. That slipped under his stick and out of the zone. Lockney looks to turn up. On his backhand, drops the shoulder all the way around the cage. Lockney having to deal with the referee and a couple of Seawolves. Langworthy bounced it out of the zone. Johnson fires it right back in. Barrington with his head up. Off the boards for Eha, and Adam Heinzel sends Carter Eha down to the ice. Scantleberry grabs the loose puck. Center for Federley, his shot off of Barrington's stick and up out of play as the Seawolves botch a D-to-D pass with no pressure, and the Prowlers almost able to take advantage there. Okay, maybe there was a little bit of pressure, but still a fairly routine play for the Mississippi Seawolves there, that unable to connect on the pass. And Port Huron now has an offensive zone faceoff. Pops up in the air. Coleman skates into it. Had some trouble. Parsons for Scantleberry, and he dumps it in. Perrant moved it over to the near side. Parsons at the line. His shot steered to the corner by Perrant. Scantleberry turns and fires, and Perrant able to make that save. Noah Hippolyte-Smith gets the red line, sends it in. Anderson on his backhand, pushed it just wide. Coleman back on goal, Yoshi the save. And DeCumbis able to grab the loose puck in the corner. Parsons looks up ice, on for Federley. As Scantleberry, that pass kicked off of his skate. Carter looks to move the other direction. Led on for Keller on a breakaway. And he pushed it wide. Yoshi able to poke it from him as well. Yoshi definitely got a piece of that one with the goal stick. Chance of Yoshi in the building. Barrington walking along the blue line. Floats it on the backhand. That one pinballs around. Yoshi reaching up for it. Ends up in the corner. And then Barrington couldn't handle it. Here's Marty off to the races. Working on Carter. And Carter able to take Dylan Marty off the puck. Barrington off the backboards, back to his defense partner, Carter. He sends it all the way up for Richardson at the Prowler blue line. Loaded it through to the near side. James for Chartrand. Off for Millette, the trailer. His shot fought off by Richie Perrant. Now Keller gets the red line and he fires it deep. Chartrand with some space and he'll skate with it. He gets the red line to the Seawolves zone. Millette back to the point to Sim. Down and around, Graham behind the cage. Takes a look, centered. Millette just couldn't get that one in a shooting position. Millette flying around the zone. His pass off a stick and up out of play. 8:14 left to go in period number 2 still. A 2-0 Prowlers lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
See that? That's what 100% mozzarella looks like. What dough made daily looks like. What fresh ingredients and 8 irresistible flavored crusts on pizza cooked to perfection looks like. It's so much flavor, we don't even know if it's legal to have this much flavor. Now you can get that famous flavor for only $8.99. Wait, a large one-topping pizza for $8.99? That's a deal. It's a steal. No, it's a crime. Just $8.99 for a one-topping pizza full of our famous flavor. Now that's how we do a deal.
Hungry?
Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
here in Port Huron, the Luke James fan club, or fam club as they said. Luke James with some family in the house, welcoming them to Port Huron, participating in the game of higher or lower during the TV timeout. They went 4 for 4, impressive work. I try and do a good job of making it difficult every week, but they did a good job. And of course, Luke James out there tonight, not there for this face-off, but he did start the game for the Prowlers. Henson works it up the boards. Johnson on goal. Fought off by Perrott through traffic as Graham and Stacy were locked up right in front. Now Johnson at the point. Takes a look. His shot off a stick. Pinballs around. And Millette has it. Now Langworthy off the boards, out of the zone, and that will be an icing against Langworthy and the Mississippi Seawolves. Alex Johnson with a couple of good chances from the point. And Richie Perrott able to stop the first one. The second one just did slip wide. Prowlers continuing to turn up the pressure here. Outshooting the Seawolves 12-3 right now in period 2. 33-14 for the game. There's Marty. Hand off for Blaney. Down below the goal line, head up, turnaround shot, stopped by Perrott. Bussell on the rebound. Marty on goal, that one hit a couple of things, a stick, a body, and it lands for Luke James. The aforementioned Luke James. Up the boards, Lockhart keeps it deep. James and Bussell in there digging away against Turner. Stacy grabs the puck, looks to start a rush. Henson on for Langworthy. Tried to drop it back off. Henson back for Langworthy on his backhand, and Yoshi the save. Carter had his shot blocked by Bussell, and now Federley looking to start a counter. He's by himself, and he couldn't drag it through on Coleman. Carter the other way. Dropped it off to nobody. And DeCumbis works up. He's one-on-one against Coleman. Scantleberry hustling to join him. He dropped it off for Federley. Back around to DeCumbis, and the Prowlers set up in the offensive zone. Federley takes the cycle. Up top, Heinzel. Got it back down deep. DeCumbis grabs it from the pile. Floated across, and Scantleberry scores! Great pass from Vinny DeCumbis, and Tucker Scantleberry able to muscle it home and make it 3-0 Prowlers. Boy, Vinny DeCumbis took a look towards the net and waited for Scantleberry to step back out from behind the cage. And he was tied up, but Scantleberry still able to get a good enough stick on that puck to bat it home. A great pass from Vinny DeCumbis, floating it through the traffic across the crease. And no chance for Richie Perrott there. Tucker Scantleberry with his 19th goal of the season. Millette looking for more. He'll dump it around. Pops out to the middle. Johnson a drive. Sent it wide on the short side. And Perrott finds it and clamps the glove on top. Adam Heinzel picking up the other assist on the goal by Tucker Scantleberry. Good to see Adam Heinzel back on the score sheet. He played the role of standing up for his teammates last night as he fought Isaac Embry, who of course injured Ben Brockway the last time the Prowlers and the Venom matched up. And Embry forced to pay for his actions as Lockney fired that one high and wide from in tight. Heinzel now gets to play offensive defenseman with an assist. Sim gave it away. Here's Anderson, and he's stopped by Yoshi, who just got enough. Graham tried to return feed for Lockney off a skate. And Keller got a pass out that ends up on Blaney's tape. Blaney backpedals. Two-line pass finds Millette. Goes on the brakes against Barrington. Chartrand in there as well. Bussell up high. Blaney a drive. That one didn't get all the way through. Bussell again. This time he cycles it deep. Richardson just tosses it out of the zone. That one took a nice hop on the red line and died. So play continues. Richardson looks tired as he tried to hand it off for Keller, who was wrestled down to the ice by Daniel Chartrand. I believe Chartrand is heading to the box for a penalty. So a Seawolves power play coming up. When we come back, it's 3-0 Port Huron on the strength of a Tucker Scantleberry goal.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
Back here in Port Huron, Daniel Chartrand sitting in the penalty box, 2 minutes for tripping. So the Seawolves power play goes to work for the first time tonight. Went 0 for 3 last night against the Motor City Rockers, and 13th out of 14 teams in the FPHL at 11.5%. Prowlers killed off 7 of 8 penalties against the Venom in last night's game. Anderson excused from the faceoff, so Isaiah Paris takes it against Luke James. And Alex Johnson able to wire it all the way down ice. Turner drops it off. Pekarzik weaving his way in. Paris back for Carter, now Pekarzik. Pekarzik unloads, didn't get much on it, still got all the way through to Yoshi. He's able to kick it away to the corner. Three aside, scrum behind the net. Johnson able to pull it out of the pile. Couldn't get it out though. Pekarzik over to Turner. Pekarzik once more. He and Turner switch spots. Paris and Heinzel were right in front of Yoshi. Now Paris off to the corner to get that pass. Carter bounce up to Pekarzik. Anderson in tight. Paris got 1 or 2 whacks. Yoshi has the puck. He'll hang on, and now Paris and Johnson tied up behind the cage. 3:26 left to go in period 2. 54 seconds left in this power play for the Mississippi Seawolves. So they try and start the wave here at McMorran Place. Mississippi switching up the power play unit as Blake Keller will take the draw against Luke James. Well, the Prowlers top penalty killers. James right back out there. And he wins the face-off again. But Blaney couldn't get it out as he hit a body. Bussell didn't get much on that clearing attempt. Hanson and Keller playing catch. Over to Stacy. Langworthy down for Eha. He's stapled to the glass by Blaney, but they're going to call Blaney for a penalty here. Blaney not happy with the call. Eha got up and started having words with Brett Lockhart. This will be a 5-on-3 for Mississippi for 32 seconds. I didn't see exactly what the call was, whether it was a rough or a board possibly. The Prowlers PK will really be tested here. It looks like roughing is the signal. Maybe it's just one of those he hit him too hard penalties. Rich Perron is drawing something up on the Mississippi bench, and the referees are telling him, let's go, get your players out there on the ice. The Prowlers send out Bussell, Johnson, and Heinzel to begin this PK. And the Seawolves with a chance to get themselves on the board. They already had 3 shots on net during the power play before the penalty to Blaney. And Hansen will be asked to leave the faceoff as the Seawolves took too long to get set. Eha taking it against Bussell. Bussell wins it back, and Johnson fires it the length of the ice. Up comes Stacy. Gets into the Prowler zone. Stops up, Mississippi sets up. Hansen up to Stacy. Now Carter, 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Shot blocked by James and out of the zone. And James giving Stacy some trouble, who gave it away to Johnson, and he gets it deep. Daniel Chartrand, fresh out of the box, is the one man in the Seawolves end. And Chartrand, a penalty killer for the Prowlers. He'll stick out there. Minute 15 left in what's now a 5-on-4 man advantage for Mississippi. This one tipped out right to Chartrand. He couldn't get out of the zone with it, and they stretch it up to him and just couldn't connect. Chartrand, though, stole it from Perrant. He couldn't do anything with it. He's giving Stacy all kinds of trouble. And Daniel Chartrand putting in the work in the offensive zone. Now DeCumbis steals it from Hansen. And he bounces it back to Seawolf ice. Carter gets it deep. 37 seconds left on the power play for Mississippi. Keller up top. Turner sent it through. That was knocked down by Anderson as he tried to deflect it. Turner over to Keller. That one left the offensive zone. And we'll get an offsides call against the Seawolves. 23 seconds left in the 5-on-4. Daniel Chartrand stepped out of the penalty box and caused all kinds of havoc for the Seawolves. Short-handed and helped to kill off most of this Blaney penalty. Again, still some time to go on it. The True Balance penalty kill still out there. Keller spun around by James. Johnson off the boards all the way around. Turner brings it in. Sent it on goal. Blocked by Adam Heinzel. He'll skate with it. Heinzel a drive off the backboards. And now Paris up the other direction as we're back to 5-on-5. Paris throws on the brakes in the corner. Final minute of play here in period 2. Johnson took it away from Isaiah Paris. Still being battled for here. Paris regains control. Blaney right in on him. And finally the puck collected by Alex Johnson. And he'll look to send a pass out. James tips it in. Sent all the way up to Keller. Now Hippolyte Smith drops it off. Keller makes a move, gets a shot, and it rose over top of the cage. Yoshi may have gotten a piece of it. I believe it was a Prowler stick who partially impeded that pass, or that shot. Barrington on goal, didn't get all the way through. Puck still in the Prowler zone, the final 10. Sim is off the boards. And that will do it for 40 minutes of hockey here from McMorran Place, and the Prowlers will head to the third period with a 3-0 lead. Shots on goal in that second period, favoring the Prowlers 15-8, and they're up 36-19 right now for the game as Andrew Stacy trying to have an extra chat with the Prowlers as they exit the ice. Linesmen and referees making sure Port Huron is able to head off to the locker room safely. And we can get to the Moses Rosa smoke break, second intermission here on the PHP Network. We will chat about this game so far. Been mostly good for the Prowlers. They have the 3-0 lead and trying to keep on rolling. Also take a look at, of course, the out-of-town scores and the game stats. Also, the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. Look ahead in the calendar. Final road trip of the regular season coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll give you some more details on that. And all of that is coming up in the Moses Roses Smoke Break second intermission report. Let's secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. That will be Saturday, March the 29th. When they take on the Motor City Rockers with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 6:05 p.m. As an early start, it's a Casey's Kids Zone night, so bring out the entire family. There will be lots for the kids to do, and you'll also be able to hit the ice with the Prowlers after the game and meet all of your favorite players, get autographs, photos, all of that fun stuff. So next Saturday night, a great game to come to. And you can get your tickets at phprowlers.com/tickets by phone at 810-985-6166 or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. It's online at phprowlers.com/tickets by phone at 810-985-6166 or scan that QR code on your screen now to be part of the Prowlers' 10th anniversary season. Port Huron up 3-0 on the Mississippi Seawolves through 40 minutes of play, trying to sweep the regular season series and win their 7th in a row. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Grab your friends and head to Bella Bola, a local pizza spot located in the heart of downtown Port Huron. Our menu is full of timeless favorites made fresh in our on-site pizza oven. Available for pickup or delivery. Just don't fight over the last slice.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets.
At phprowlers.com. They're cleaning up the Chuck-a-Pucks here at McMorran Place. Prowlers with a 3-0 lead on the Mississippi Seawolves. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks again for joining us for tonight's action. Prowlers trying to take care of business against the team below them in the standing. They're trying to do it again. They did it last week to the Motor City Rockers. Did it last night against HC Venom. First time they were able to do it against the Venom this season, trying to continue their success against the Mississippi Seawolves this season. And certainly things bode well for the Prowlers. If you look at the history this year, they have held the Seawolves to 2 or fewer goals in each of their first 4 meetings this season. Prowlers up to 3, so if you do the simple math there, and the Seawolves don't score more than 2 this time, then Prowlers will win this game and pick up 3 points. Fort Huron also 16-3-2 when leading after 40 minutes of play this season. And they're trying to stay red hot, win their 7th in a row. They're currently at 6 wins in a row, the longest active streak in the FPHL. And they're getting their offense from some of the big guns, Alex Johnson, Tucker Scantleberry, and Reggie Millette with the goals. Of course, Vinny DeCumbus with a beautiful pass in that second period to set up the Scantleberry goal. That made it a 3-0 game, but Adam Heinzel has found the score sheet for the Prowlers, so certainly getting some other guys involved as well. They're heavily out shooting the Seawolves. Let's take a quick look at the game stats right now. A 3-0 lead for the Prowlers. 36-19 are the shots. And Prowlers, if you do the math, which I'm trying to do in my head, Prowlers nearly doubling up the Seawolves in the shots on goal department. And I think really one of the most resounding parts of the game, though, was that 5-on-3 penalty kill that the Prowlers were able to kill off, as they had a long stretch of 5-on-3 time, and then Daniel Chartrand came out of the box and immediately started causing havoc in the Mississippi end to kill off most of the rest of the 5-on-4 that came after the 5-on-3 expired. So certainly a good defensive game for the Prowlers tonight. They typically do play very well defensively in front of Yoshi, and that's a guy that they certainly love to play in front of. They love to play in front of all 3 of their goaltenders, but when you get Yoshi between the pipes, sometimes you get maybe turn it up a little bit defensively, and of course Prowlers have been turning it up defensively as of late. The block shots have been plentiful over these last couple of weeks, and that's what you're going to need to win games down the stretch. That's what you're going to need to win games when you get to the postseason, which the Prowlers will be in, and playoff tickets will be on sale online hopefully this upcoming week. Fans in the arena are getting their first chance at playoff tickets, but they should be going online this upcoming week, so hopefully get them there. Hopefully we can pack McMorran Place for the playoffs, make this a really tough place to play, because as things stand right now, the Prowlers should be taking on the Danbury Hat-Tricks in round number 1. You talk about a tough place to play, that is Danbury, Connecticut, especially in a playoff atmosphere. So hopefully we can make McMorran Place as tough a place to play as Danbury is. Again, keep an eye out on the Prowlers social media channels. When those tickets go on sale, they'll be announced there. But still 6 more games after tonight that the Prowlers have to go through before they get to the playoffs. They have the Motor City Rockers 4 times and the Carolina Thunderbirds 2. We'll get to more details coming up a little bit later in the intermission report. And we'll see how long they can ride out this win streak before they get to where the games really matter. This one certainly does matter. Big 3 points on the board for the Prowlers as they try and stick in their 3rd place position and continue to look up at 2nd place in the Empire. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, upcoming schedule and out-of-town scores coming your way, so don't go anywhere as we still have more to go on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Wrapping up the 2nd intermission here at McMorran Place, Prowlers with a 3-0 lead. Will Wiggleman back with you once again. Time now to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Port Huron Prowlers. Look at the next 2 weeks on the calendar. And the Motor City Rockers, of course, again coming up next weekend. Another home and home. 7:35 puck drop down at Big Boy Arena. We'll have that one for you here on the PHP Network. And then a 6:05 puck drop here at McMorran Place. That will be, of course, a Casey's Kids Zone night. And fans can hit the ice with the team after the game and get pictures, get autographs, all of that fun stuff. So be sure to come out, bring the whole family next Saturday night. And the Prowlers will take their final true road trip of the regular season. They visit the Carolina Thunderbirds. They've 7:35 and 6:05 p.m. games against the Thunderbirds next weekend. So again, same times as next weekend, the following weekend in Carolina, but again, both of those games on the road against the Thunderbirds. Prowlers going to Winston-Salem in April, but their season is not on the line. And a big sigh of relief for Prowlers fans, and they will not have to face the Thunderbirds in round 1 of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs this year, as they have for the last 4 times they have made the postseason. But certainly that will be a great test for them heading into playoff time. Take on what is currently the top team in the Continental Division. Thunderbirds were in action tonight, so were the Rockers. And we'll take a look at the out-of-town scores. The Dashers have pulled within a goal of the Danbury hat tricks. Quinn O'Reilly, the only tally of period 2. It's a 2-1 game for the Dashers as they get set to start period 3. Through 40 minutes, about 45 minutes down the road from McMorran Place at Big Boy Arena. Eli Rivers, the only goal of period 2. And the Rockers have drawn even with HC Venom. Through 40 minutes of play, it is 2-2. The Wolves now up by 2 on the Binghamton Black Bears midway through the second period. It was 4-0 after the first. Trevor Lord has a pair of goals and an assist as well. Andrew Whalen and Davide Gaeta. The other goals for Watertown, Gavin Yates and Nicholas Swain, have gotten the Black Bears back in it. Again, just before the midway point of period 2, it is 4-2. Still searching for the first goal in Wytheville, Virginia, between the Blue Ridge Bobcats and the Baton Rouge Zydeco. As Greg Hussey has made 20 saves for the Cats, and Sammy Bernard 19 stops for the Zydeco, scoreless past the midway point of the hockey game. And that one a hugely critical matchup for the seeding over in the Continental Division. One game has gone final. Cody Wickline had a couple of goals, Nolan Slaheka a couple of assists, and Matt Pedersen with 35 saves to help the Columbus River Dragons get past the Carolina Thunderbirds 5-2. And that certainly hurts Carolina in the race for the top spot in the Continental Division between them and the Athens Rock Lobsters. It also does give the River Dragons a little bit of a cushion on the Baton Rouge Zydeco, who are trying to chase them down for third place in the Continental, much like the Prowlers were chasing down the Watertown Wolves, and the Wolves now trying to chase down the Prowlers. And of course, that 3-4 seed is very important because the third seed team does not have to play a one-game play-in. 4 seed does. So you really do not want to be in that 4-5 range. You want to stay in the third spot, and the Dragons get a big 3 points towards that effort. In case you're just tuning back in, take a look at the stats from this game so far. Prowlers out shooting the Seawolves 36-19 through 40 minutes of play. It's been pretty tame as far as the penalties go, just 4 penalty minutes apiece, and the Prowlers with the only power play goal of the night. They are 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Mississippi 0 for 2, and they were unsuccessful on a 5-on-3 power play during that second period. As the Seawolves hit the ice, soon to be followed by the Port Huron Prowlers, we take a look at our PHP Network trivia question. Of course, last night, Matt Graham becoming the first Prowler to hit 20 goals this season. We want to know who was the last Prowler with 30 goals in a season. You have to go back to 2022-23 when Dalton Jay and Joe Devaney both hit 30 goals. Jay led the Prowlers with 33 goals that season. Devaney finished with exactly 30. Now, Matt Graham would need 10 goals in the final 7 games to reach the 30-goal mark this year. Highly unlikely, but stranger things have happened, and he has been scoring goals at a high rate recently, although none yet here tonight. His team, though, up 3-0 and trying to close this one out. Yoshi, you see him there getting set in the goal crease down to our right. He stopped all 19 shots he has faced in this game. Richie Perrant down the goal crease to our left. 33 saves on 36 Prowlers shots. As Port Huron hits the ice. Yoshi trying to keep his 3-0 record intact. And we get set for the face-off for the Shoals Family McDonald's third period. It will be the Bussell line for the Prowlers. He'll draw against Curtis Hansen. Kevin Mallon, in his final game in Port Huron, will drop the puck to open up period number 3, and we're underway. Lockhart rims it all the way around. And Pekarzik able to catch up to it, get to the red line, and he chips it in. Blaney almost gave it away off the hop off the Zamboni door, almost overskated it. Here's Langworthy, a shot over top of the cage. Comes all the way around for Pekarzik. Put it back deep. Lockhart kept it moving. Stacy keeps it alive. Langworthy towards the net, and Yoshi got a piece of it, sent it to the half wall. Pekarzik just a bit outside with that shot. Stacy heading after it along with Chartrand. Came all the way back to Mississippi territory. Chartrand using the body on Stacy here, and now on Barrington. Daniel Chartrand able to win the puck. Back to Johnson. Across for Sim. Sends it through. And a save by Perrant. I believe Graham may have gotten a tip on it. Graham for Millette. Up top looking for Sim. But Pekarzik got his stick in the way. And that one caroms all the way down. Coleman claps it right back to Prowler ice. Lockney. Over to Alex Johnson. And he sends Lockney back on his way. Working on Coleman. Throws on the brakes, takes a look, cycles for Graham. Back for Lockney, one-timer. That one a bit too high, hit the stanchion, and it caromed out to the Prowler's zone. Adam Heinzel with his team finishing up a change. Gets to Scantleberry, floated across for Brian Parsons. From the outside, throws on the brakes, back to Heinzel. Off for Federley, and he sends it around. Carter the first one on it. Scantleberry takes it from on the forecheck. Now tied up with Hippolyte Smith. Hippolyte Smith almost gave it away, but it's chopped to Eha. He's able to toss it in right on Yoshi, who puts it over in the corner. Seawolves getting some fresh bodies on the ice. Nearly 2.5 minutes gone in period number 3. Tecumseh on the left wing. Drops it off for Federley, takes the shot, and Perrant has that one in the catching glove for a whistle and a face-off. Prowlers still with that 3-0 lead if you're just tuning in. Goals by Reggie Millette, Alex Johnson, and Tucker Scantleberry for Port Huron. Richardson and Bussell in on this face-off. Bussell on the second effort. It'll get back to the point. Turner off the glass. Right into Paris. Chartrand has it pinned along the boards. Turner now gave it away to Marty, but he was in too tight to get a shot away. Perrant swinging out that goal stick to keep Dylan Marty from putting one on the backhand. Blaney towards the cage, just missed it wide. Lockhart, a howitzer, saved by Perrant, rebounds loose. And Keller scoops it up. Blaney steps up at the red line. Over to Millette. On the outside, goes all the way around the cage. Johnson back down and around. Graham in the far corner. He and Turner tie up. Chartrand keeps it moving. Sim pinches in. Tried to push it deep. Instead, it's Paris working out with it. Paris off for Henson. He was tied up and spun to the ice by Sim. Henson from his knees playing it behind the net. And now Graham. Outlet feed. Got past Lockney and bounced over Coleman's tape. Coleman gave it away to Lockney. They ran into each other. Perrant did a snow angel. Now Coleman giving Millette a whack away from the puck. Delayed offsides against the Prowlers. Langworthy off the boards towards Johnson. Parsons able to swipe at it. Got it up to Lockney. It's kept alive. Graham now just slides it out of the zone. That will go all the way down for an icing. A little bit of nastiness between Reggie Millette and one of the Seawolves during that last sequence. That's why there was delayed offsides against the Prowlers, because Millette was still in the offensive zone. Graham still out there along with Lockney. Millette was able to get off and get a change, so Austin Federley third on this line, but this trio has played together this season. Johnson tried to work it out. And puck bounces around to the point. Carter, Barrington one-timer. That one hit a body and went wide. I think that hit Eha on the way through. Johnson takes a look. Slips it up towards Federley. Kicked off his skate. Lockney able to bounce it out of the zone and get a change. Carter trying to keep it away from Austin Federley, who took a tumble. And now it's Keller, 3-on-2 for the Seawolves if they hurry. Richardson back towards Keller, couldn't get a stick on it, and Yoshi able to swallow up that puck. Just over 5 minutes gone in period 3. Prowlers with a 3-0 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
At Hungry Howie's, we have a flavor philosophy. It's that you deserve to mix and match the most delicious flavor you've ever had with even more of the most delicious flavor you've ever had. But how can you mix and match the most delicious flavor twice at the same time? Well, we're not in the business of logic. We're in the business of blowing your flavor-loving mind with flavor upon flavor. Philosophize on that. Get any 2 items on the mix and match menu, including the 2-topping flatbread pizza for $6.99 each.
Hungry?
Howie's!
Early stages of period 3, Prowlers maintaining their 3-0 lead. Up on shots 4-2 in this third period. And they are up to 40 shots on goal in this game. Seawolves with just 21 so far. Faceoff is deep in Prowler territory though. Richardson tried to win it back. Paris couldn't get to it. Prowlers did. Scantleberry hustling up. Over to James from the outside. His shot swallowed up by Perrant. Well, Luke James out there in Austin Federley's spot. Federley ended up with a longer shift. And now the Prowlers make a change. They send the top line out there. Matt Graham and Bradley Richardson will take the face-off. Millette having words with Stacy right now. And Kevin Mallon, the referee, coming in to make sure everybody plays nice, at least so we can drop the puck. And now they're visor to visor. Chance of Reggie from the McMorran faithful, and Kevin Mallon has seen enough. He's just going to take both to the penalty box. And now Reggie pleading his case. Stacy still yelling at Reggie Millette. No idea what sparked this, but they are certainly not making dinner plans. Reggie Millette emphatically making his case. He will finally take a step into the penalty box. And to be an official in those penalty boxes right now. We'll see if this affects on-ice manpower. Jamie Bussell, Prowlers alternate captain, holding up 4 fingers like it will be 4-on-4. They're still talking about it over at the scorer's table. Millette and Stacy, you can see right there, still barking at each other. 2 minutes might not be enough for these two. They might still be going at it when they're scheduled to exit the sin bins. Penalty box attendants are trying to calm those two down. Play continues now in the Seawolves end, 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. As Johnson's pass off of Pekarzik's stick, Lockhart diving at it, and Graham scoops it up. Johnson back in the offensive zone, keeps the puck alive. Lockney for Graham, try to slip it over to Johnson. Johnson turns the corner, drop off for Lockhart. Makes a move around Hansen, and now hands it to Lockney. Lockney shakes free, but he couldn't tuck it. Oh, he made a nice move to the forehand. Got Perrant down and out, but just rolled away from him. Pekarzik and Hansen ran into each other. Graham up for Lockney, working on Carter on the backhand. Save Perrant. And a rebound. Set there, and Lockney the first one on it. Carter trying to swipe it over to Hippolyte Smith, trying to get the puck just away from number 77 in black, Lucas Lockney, causing some trouble on that shift for the Mississippi Seawolves. 51 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4. As both Millette and Stacy pick up 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Coleman took a hit from former college teammate Luke James. Those two teammates at Becker College. Rest in peace. Blaney on the right wing side. Throws on the brakes, floats it through. James and Coleman cancel out. Anderson grabs the puck. And now he leaves it for Carter. Coleman starts to move his way up. 10 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Yoshi scoops it up and hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. And in case you were wondering, Reggie Millette and Andrew Stacy have not stopped the conversation in the penalty boxes. Face-off will be to Yoshi's left between Marty and Keller. Tied up, DeCumbis comes in for it, trying to split the D. DeCumbis with a step, he scores! Vinny DeCumbis up the ice with speed, gets past everyone, and he makes it 4-0. Just as Millette and Stacy stepped out of the penalty boxes, and Vinny DeCumbis jumped that face-off, got to it first, and he beat everybody up the ice. Splitting past both Seawolves defensemen, fighting off some checks, and DeCumbis, his second goal of the season in game number 9. James in on the forecheck sends Barrington down to the ice. Seawolves look to move it out. Isaiah Paris took a hit from Millette. Keller throws a check on Reggie Millette. They give Dylan Marty the assist on the goal by DeCumbis. The two Lawrence University grads hooking up for that one. There's Coleman pushing it as far as Johnson. Wrapped around for Luke James. Cycles, Scantleberry, tried to play it off the back of the net, but couldn't recollect. Out comes Barrington, gets the red line, sends it in. Johnson and Paris get there together. Anderson trying to play it from his knees. That was Hansen, pardon me. Coleman fired it wide of the cage. Hansen cycles back to the far side. Langworthy and Luke James get there together. Now Lockhart with a couple of stick handles finds some open space and gets it to Johnson. He'll just send it in deep. Prowlers in need of a change. Carter on for Langworthy. Rink wide feed. Federley stepped into it, but couldn't chip it by. Parsons lead pass looking for Chartrand. Stopped up between Chartrand and Coleman right at the red line. 3 Prowlers, 2 Seawolves digging away. Comes back to Parsons again. Blaney able to fire it around. Chartrand waiting for it on this side. DeCumbus. Loose puck. Chartrand settles it down. Blaney takes a look. Tried a centering feed. Came all the way through for Parsons. Tried to go back across for Chartrand. Pass was behind him. Pekarzik had his stick lifted. Parsons able to chip it past him. Here he comes, his shot. Stopped by Perrant. DeCumbus back deep all by himself as his team was in the midst of a change. Scantleberry tried a back pass out. Bounces towards the net. Kick back to the corner. Carter able to move it out. Tucker Scantleberry spins on Hansen. Federley back for Scantleberry. Has some space. And he's stopped by Perrant. And he leaves no rebound. Vinny DeCumbus adds another for the Prowlers. It's 4-0 past the midway point of period 3. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
EDA, providing local business support for over 70 years. And helping to boost our region's workforce, retain and attract talent. Working to grow the local economy and the flow of money into our community to help businesses be profitable and successful. Focused on improving the region's economic strength and quality of life for residents. To learn more about the EDA of St. Clair County, visit edascc.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers with a commanding 4-0 lead, up on shots 45-22 for the game, 9-3 here in the third period. They have the only goal of period 3. They'll send out Reggie Millette once again. I don't see Andrew Stacy on the ice. Oh, there is Andrew Stacy. So they'll line up next to each other once again. Last time they lined up next to each other, they both ended up in the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. The conversation continues between those two. They're lined up right in the slot, right at the hash marks. Puck is down, play begins. Stacy spins away from Graham, but he lost the puck. Millette able to dump it deep. Lockney tied up with Turner. Able to work out of it. Millette a drive, and that one off a stick. And it didn't go very far. Lockney able to steal it back. Millette got it all the way across. Lockney takes a look. Back for Johnson. Pinballs around, sits in the crease. And Perrant dives back to get on top of it for a whistle and a face-off. Lucas Lockney looks skyward after that opportunity. Prowlers will switch up the line and send out Vinny DeCumbus' crew. .9:17 left to go in period number 3. See where they're going to put the face-off here. Tucker Scantleberry thinks it should be on the far side, and indeed he would be correct. That's why they gave him the A, right? Because he knows things like that. Austin Federley, who has the C, will draw against his number 19 opposite, Bradley Richardson. And off the face-off, Federley able to knock down the clearing attempt. Scantleberry over towards Federley, just out of his reach. Parsons pinches in and pokes it away from Paris. Puck hops high up in the air, glove down by DeCumbis. Heinzel for Scantleberry. Turns the corner, now he starts up ice. Into the offensive zone, 1-on-4, all the way around, tried the wrap, and DeCumbis scores! Second of the period for Vinny DeCumbis, cleaning it up on the doorstep. And the Prowlers have a handful. Scantleberry did the work, wrapped it all the way around, and Vinny DeCumbis gets his third point of the evening. And second goal in short order here in period 3. It's all Prowlers tonight. That one came up high, hit Blaney in the face. And Mark Blaney doubled over as Langworthy tried to deflect into the Prowler zone, came up into Blaney's face, and he'll head off the ice and get a look from Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith. How about Adam Heinzel with his second assist of the evening? Getting the other helper on the goal by DeCumbis, along, of course, with Tucker Scantleberry. Coleman had some trouble with it. Here's Shartran shooting it from the corner. Ends up with Bussell, spinning away from Coleman. Bussell turns it down deep. Shartran wait for it to land. It was up on the dasher. Carter gave it away. Shartran on his backhand. Pass across, and Bussell robbed by the right pad of Richie Perrant. Shartran taken down. Bussell tied up with Carter. Coleman grabs the puck, and Hansen skates out. Across to Langworthy. His shot, it's up by Yoshi. Left to rebound. Langworthy tried to put it back on from below the goal line. And now it's sent across to the far side. Luke James fresh off the bench. Fires his way up ice. Over for Millette. Tried to feed it out in front. That one off a skate. He had Lockney heading towards the goal. Millette back in the offensive zone. Floats it through for Lockney, and you just couldn't get a shot away. Hippolyte Smith was right on top of him. To a side scrum. Lockney up top, Sim fires it, and a save by Perrant as he gloves it down. 7:05 left to go in regulation. Vinny DeCumbis, a 3-point night. Came into tonight's game with 3 points in 8 games. He's now doubled that total. Tucker Scantleberry, Alex Johnson a goal and an assist apiece. Adam Heinzel, 2 assists. And Heinzel, of course, not necessarily known for his offense, came in with 3 assists this season in 38 games, had 1 helper all of last year, and 2 here in tonight's game. He's out there now, lined up right along the boards at the point. Scantleberry wins it back. DeCumbis back for Heinzel. Down to DeCumbis. All the way up top it comes. Lockhart for Federley. Not through him. And now it's DeCumbis. Turns the corner, looking for Scantleberry. And that one didn't get all the way through. Those two almost hooking up for yet another goal. You remember DeCumbis, the primary helper on Scantleberry's goal back in the second period. Here's Scantleberry. Tried to get through for Federley off a stick. This one sent in by Ehaz. The Seawolves get a change. Lockhart for Federley, who bounces it back to Scantleberry. Keller, area pass to nobody. And Scantleberry turns the other direction. galloping in on his backhand. And he dumps it back deep. Barrington has to deal with a flying Dylan Marty. And Isaiah Parrish grabs the puck, hustles up ice. He gets it deep, heads after it. Parrish taken in. Chartrand tried to keep it moving. And now Carter a shot. That was blocked. I believe that was Bussell right in front of him. Carter again blocked by Jamie Bussell. And Chartrand sends it across to Marty. Marty works his way in. Tried to get around Coleman. Couldn't get the puck on the other side. Blaney back on the ice after taking that puck up high. In deep on the forecheck. Chartrand recollects. Floats it across to an area. Blaney skates in with it. Drops off for Graham. And now Parsons walks in. Saved by Perrott. And Millette on the rebound. Puts it home. Second of the night for Reggie Millette. Make it 6 for the Prowlers as the Reggie chants come down from the crowd. Sixteenth of the year for Reggie Millette. And he had some words for Andrew Stacy and the Seawolves bench after putting that one home. And now Kevin Mallon, the referee, saying hold off here. Still some conversations going on from the Seawolves bench. Rich Perrott, the head coach of the Mississippi Seawolves, wants a word with the referees, but I don't think he'll get the penalty I believe he's looking for. As we drop the puck and we continue. Lockney heading after it. Barrington beats him there. And it's wrapped all the way around. James throws a check on Pekarzik, whose pass is behind Langworthy, and that goes all the way down for un-icing. Ryan Parsons and Matt Graham get the assist on the goal by Reggie Millette. It's a party here in Port Huron. We'll take our final timeout on the PHP Network.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rear-view mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Can I please get a big...
What I need from you is a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac? That's not a Big Mac.
Actually, it is.
It's not
a Big Mac.
Chicken Big Mac?
Chicken patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. Enjoy.
The chicken Big Mac.
It's not a Big Mac.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We invite you to tune into our next broadcast. That'll be Friday, March the 28th, when the Prowlers visit the Motor City Rockers. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:35, and the stream goes live at 7:20. It's all right here on the PHP Network. Prowlers in complete control here tonight against the Mississippi Seawolves. Matt Grant picking up his second assist of the night. He's up to 40 assists and 60 points this season. First time he has hit 60 points since the 2019-20 season. And he's certainly having a renaissance year. Here's Benny DeCumbus with 2 goals in the game. Works his way over to the far side, off for Blaney. Lockhart got it deep. 2 Prowlers in on that puck. DeCumbus took a check from Pekarzik. Scantleberry spinning on Turner, lost an edge, and out comes Pekarzik. Tries to work his way in, had the puck taken away. Blaney tried to play it through, pass in front, great save by Yoshi on Curtis. Hands Hansen! Hansen was all by himself. Puck came to him in front, and Yoshi, who has not been busy at all in this third period, stayed sharp and came up with a big save. Off this face-off, tied up in the corner, to a side scrum. Parsons and Hippolyte-Smith, along with Anderson and James. Heinzel and Eha also getting involved now. And now Parsons able to poke it out around the net towards Chartrand. Heinzel off the boards, got past Eha. Don Carter on it. Chartrand right in on him. Eha and Marty going at it a little bit. Both of them giving each other shots up high. Crowd gathering. And Eha dragged out of the pile. We'll see what the penalties are here as both Eha and Marty got their hands up as the scrum was ensuing right in front of the penalty boxes, so they don't have far to go to step into the sin bins. They'll likely each just get 2 minutes here, and we'll see if it's 5-on-5 or 4-on-4. Looks like we will get some 4-on-4 action. Prowlers send out Millette, Lockney, Sim, and Johnson. Seawolves going with Keller, Paris, Carter, and Coleman. Lockney wins the face-off. Back to Alex Johnson. Sim gets the red line, lost it, and Paris the other way. Has Keller breaking to the net. But Paris lost the handle. He's forced back out to neutral ice. Isaiah Paris works his way in, knocked off his stick. Keller couldn't bring it through on the toe drag. Here's Carter, and he had poked away by Sim. Carter centered, Keller tried to go up top to Coleman. Good stick by Lockney to get in the way. Under 3 to go here in regulation. 6-0 Prowlers. Max Barrington in no hurry. Off for Pekarzik, almost had his pocket picked by Scantleberry, and he's forced back by DeCumbus. We have DeCumbus and Millette on hat trick watch, by the way, just in case anyone's trying to keep track at home. 55 seconds left in the 4-on-4 here as Barrington steps out. Pekarzik back for Stacy, right up the gut. Stacy's surrounded. Heads back after the puck in the corner. Lockhart lifts his stick neatly and hands off for Blaney. Kicked off of Scantleberry, goes down ice, icing waved off. Well, Blaney in on the forecheck, tried to center for Scantleberry. Mark Blaney took a penalty there, slashing the call. And the Seawolves will go to their third man advantage of the night. It will be a 4-on-3 power play for 33 seconds, and then a 5-on-4 power play the rest of the way. And once Blaney steps out of the box, there'll be 7 seconds on the clock if all goes well for the Prowlers. By the way, Eha and Marty each got 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Blaney there 2 for slashing. And the Prowlers PK goes back to work. Haven't heard much from the special teams in this game. Prowlers 1 for 2 though on the power play, and 2 for 2 right now on the PK. Hansen headed across for Keller. Throws on the brakes. Took a hit from Heinzel. Seawolves trying to dig it free. Federley does. And he goes back to waste some time before saucering it all the way down ice. 5 seconds left until this turns into a 5-on-4 power play for Mississippi as Eha and Marty have now stepped out. Johnson hustling after it, off the boards, kept in by Langworthy. Shot it off the side of the cage. Langworthy centered, and Lockhart had his man tied up. Keller to Carter. Pass off the stick of Chartrand. Those two canceled out, and here comes Marty with Lockhart 2-on-1 short-handed. Lockhart missed it wide from right in front, and then he couldn't get the wrap chance to go. As my father likes to say, how do you miss from there? I'll give Brett Lockhart the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Perrant did get a piece of that shot. We're into the final minute of play here in the third period. Coleman to Paris on the left wing. Couldn't get the puck past Heinzel, but he did sidestep the check. Adam Heinzel clears. 30 seconds to go in regulation. 20 seconds now on the penalty to Blaney. Up comes Carter. Coleman across to Anderson. Parsons steps up on him. Anderson trying to muscle it into the offensive zone. Puck off the back boards. Parsons and Paris tie up. Final seconds ticking away. They did get free. They won't get another shot. Yoshi has a shutout. One of the most beloved people in that locker room has got himself a few spot starts this season, and now he has blanked the Mississippi Seawolves with a 24 save performance. No doubt Yoshi is going to be our Gunther Graphics player of the game as Richie Perrant snaps his stick on the way off the ice. Chance of Yoshi after that one, and fans chanting out for Kevin Mallon, the referee, who is making his final appearance here in Port Huron as a referee, as he gets set to retire at the end of this season. And the Prowlers likely line up here to shake Kevin Mallon's hand as the fans chant for Yoshi. Nothing the final for the Prowlers again as they line up to shake the hand of Kevin Mallon, who has given a lot to the FPHL. We'll pause for tonight's three-star announcement. So the fans serenading Yoshi off the ice as you get pictures with referee Kevin Mallon. And again, from the Prowlers organization, I guess I get to be the voice for the Prowlers in this instant. Want to give a big thank you to Kevin Mallon for his service to the FPHL. Certainly a guy we've seen here in Port Huron a lot. And we thank him for all he's done for the FPHL and wish him the best in retirement, and hope he enjoys not getting yelled at by fans, players, and coaches for a little bit. We will take a timeout. The post-game show is next as Kevin Mallon salutes the crowd one last time. We'll be back here on the PHP Network.
Let's go! They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Will Wiggleman back here at McMorran Place. Prowlers dominate the Mississippi Seawolves tonight by a final score of 6-0. Time now to go back through this one. Well, the starting goaltending matchup, Richie Perrant against Yoshihiro Kuriowa. Both of them on a 3-start win streak. One was going to come to an end here tonight. And the Prowlers started the scoring early as Reggie Millette got his own rebound, shot it from right about the corner, and got it to Karamin off a Seawolf, and made it 1-0, 46 seconds in. Late in the opening period, Austin Federley sent a shot through, tipped home by Alex Johnson. And for Johnson, his second goal in as many nights in the same way, a power play goal on a shot from Austin Federley, and he was able to deflect home. Oh, it was 2-0 through 20 minutes and through much of the second, but Vinny DeCumbis was able to find Tucker Scantleberry with a pass across the crease through traffic as Scantleberry came back out from behind the net, and he tapped it home, made it 3-0 Prowlers at that point. And the third, DeCumbis got his opportunities offensively. Off a face-off that the Seawolves looked like they won, DeCumbis jumped off his spot and was able to beat everybody to the puck, split the Seawolves defense, and get all the way up the ice on a breakaway. And he scores his second of the year. But he wasn't done. Just under 4 minutes later, Scantleberry came into the offensive zone, went all the way around the net, put it out in front, and DeCumbis right there to clean it up on the doorstep, his second of the night. And Reggie Millette put the exclamation point on it, cleaning up a Brian Parsons shot rebound and putting that one to the back of the net. Prowlers win it 6-0. The big story tonight, Yoshihiro Kuriowa with the 24-save shutout, the second shutout of the season for the Port Huron Prowlers, and it is their first home shutout since the 2020-21 season. On April 10th, 2021, the goaltender of record that night, Kurt Gutting, he made 34 saves. We take one last look at the stats from this game. Prowlers heavily outshoot the Seawolves, more than double them up, 51-24. And they go 1 for 2 on the power play. Seawolves 0 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. It's a clean game as far as the penalties go relatively. And the Prowlers able to win it tonight in dominant fashion. When we come back, one last look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we wrap this one up. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here on the PHP Network.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
We're on a mission to feed the future by helping farmers worldwide be more resilient, more productive, more sustainable for generations to come. Corteva Agriscience. Keep growing.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
Back here at McMorran Place, Will Wiggleman with you one final time as the Prowlers defeat the Mississippi Seawolves tonight by a final score of 6-0. Time now to take one last look around the FPHL. Only 2 games still in progress. We take a look at some final scores here as the Danbury Hat-Tricks doubled up the Dashers Hockey Club 6-3 the final. Johnny Ruiz, 2 goals and an assist. Chase Harwell, a goal and 2 helpers, and Jacob Ratcliffe dished out a couple of assists as well. 6-3 the final in Danbury. I'm ready to call the Venom dead here as they fell to the Motor City Rockers 5-2 tonight. Cody Oakes, TJ Sneath, and Josh Colton scored in the third period after it went into the third tied. And the Motor City Rockers get the win. Sneath finished with a goal and an assist. Ricky Gonzalez, 38 saves in the victory. Well, here's a turn of events that should make Prowler fans smile. The Binghamton Black Bears have scored 5 unanswered in Watertown. They're now up 5-4 on the Wolves. Early stages of period number 3. Dan Stone, Scott Ramakers, and Cam Clark, the most recent 3 goals since we last checked in on this game. And if Binghamton can hold on, the Prowlers can pretty much lock up that 3rd spot in the Empire Division and avoid having to play that midweek play-in game. They found some goals in Wytheville as the Blue Ridge Bobcats lead the Baton Rouge Zydeco 2-0. Michael Mercurio and Nick McHugh scored less than 4 minutes apart in the second period. They're now in the third in a big game for the Continental Division seeding. We already talked about it, but one last look at the River Dragons, who took down the Carolina Thunderbirds tonight, 5-2 the final. Matt Pedersen with 35 saves in the win. Austin Doe led the way for the Dragons with 3 assists. Cody Wickline had a couple of goals. Of course, here, 6-0 the Prowlers win behind a Yoshi shutout. And the Prowlers fans cheering his name all night long. One last reminder, tune into our next broadcast. That'll be next Friday, March the 28th, when the Prowlers visit the Motor City Rockers. Puck drop scheduled for 7:35 p.m. from Big Boy Arena. The pregame show starts at about 7:20. It's all right here on the PHP Network. But for Kim running the camera, I'm Will Wiggleman. And for Yoshi between the pipes tonight, thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time on the PHP Network.